Hi Aries, welcome back to my channel, Karma Fox. I am doing your weekly reading for May. I hope you're doing well. I will take a quick second just to remind you that this is a general reading. It may not resonate with every Aries out there, so guys, take what resonates for you, just leave the rest for someone else. Please keep in mind that the energies can reverse. And as always, Aries, please don't force yourself into a reading that is just not for you. Spirit, can I have the energy of the sign of Aries? Aries. All right. Aries, you are starting out with the Five of Wands. You have the Eight of Cups in the reverse, and coming out together is the Ace of Wands along with the Eight of Wands in the reverse. All right, so Aries, I feel like you've had some kind of a conflict with somebody. Now, this could be internal conflict as well for some of you, but for a lot of you, you've had conflict with somebody. And I do feel like if you walked away from that person, you could be kind of thinking about moving back towards them or hoping that they move back towards you. There's still an emotional attachment that I see. And I do feel like, you know, what's really blocking a new beginning here has to do with communication, lack of communication, and for some of you, a distance. So communication is definitely needed if there is going to be a new beginning. And it would be a very rapid change in this situation. So you definitely had some pretty heavy conflict with somebody, or you're going through some pretty difficult internal conflict here about a new beginning. So let me see who's in your energy. Show me who is in Aries energy. All right, the person in your energy is coming out with the Empress in reverse, Taurus, Libra energy, Six of Cups reversed, and the Ten of Coins reversed. So this person is experiencing a karmic lesson or a karmic cycle. It is a cycle of loss, though, I will tell you that. This person could have had a deep financial loss as well. I do feel that, you know, they're in a scarcity mindset currently. They're not nurturing in this connection. I feel at one time that they were. I feel like they were giving, they were nurturing, but this person's definitely going through something. Somebody could have had a family member that passed away as well, and this person is grieving. But I definitely feel this person is trying to release and let something from their past go. They could be questioning their own self-esteem, their own value at this time. They're not nurturing this connection. They could be also surrounded by family and friends that, or close friends, that would possibly be giving them bad advice. These people would be saying, oh, you don't want to have anything to do with Aries. Don't move towards Aries. Let that person go. Yeah, so that's relevant for somebody out there. But this person's experiencing some deep losses, and it's almost like it's caused an existential crisis. It's making them really question their entire life. So let me see the energy between Aries and this person. The Lovers in reverse and the Four of Swords. Yeah, so this person has withdrawn, so they're likely the one who walked away here. I do feel like this person is in battle mode. They are trying to heal. You could very well have a child with this person or have been married to this person. And I feel like for you, you're just experiencing a very deep loss here. This is a relationship that was somebody who was at one point so nurturing, so loving. And I do feel like it was a really beautiful connection. It could be a soulmate connection where you feel that the two of you were led together. So you're experiencing that loss right now, and they've kind of withdrawn their energy. They're trying to heal. They're trying to figure out what kind of a decision to make. Let me see what's affecting this connection. Yeah, the Five of Coins. So You may feel very abandoned or rejected. This person could be experiencing financial loss as well over this, but I feel like there's a lot of rejection here. There's a lot of feelings of abandonment, being left out in the cold. Show me the outcome at the end of the week. Okay, so that's good. There's healing. So there's definitely been heartbreak. It is on both sides, and there's healing that is coming. There could have been third-party energy for some of you in which you feel that this person went in another direction towards a third party. Yeah, and that would have, they would have introduced competition into this connection, and it may have broken your heart. Now that is there for somebody. You feel like this person abandoned you for someone else. But I am seeing healing is coming in for both parties towards the end of the week. Bottom of the deck is the Queen of Cups. This is underlying energy. You could be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, or a Capricorn. Taurus is actually very strong. Let me see. I'm also seeing strong Gemini energy here. But with the Queen of Cups, this is you kind of pulled back. Aries, you're kind of pulled back and you're feeding into your own cup. You could be very much looking at your finances or how you support yourself, trying to ensure your own stability here. I do get the sense that you are unhappy. I get the sense that you have been very loyal to this connection and you feel like this person was not. So I do feel like you're really focused on yourself right now, your money, focused on your home, your children if you have children. Just really ensuring your own stability. So let's clarify. Spirit, why is the Five of Wands here for Aries? Why is the Five of Wands here? Yeah, there's an ending. You may have been married to this person. I see an ending though. Four of Wands reversed and the Three of Swords in the reverse. Or I'm sorry, Four of Swords in the reverse. So you're hoping that this person will communicate with you, but you feel like, so honestly, Aries, what I'm getting here is that somebody, your partner moved in another direction for a lot of you. They went in another direction, and I do feel that made you feel very rejected, very abandoned, and discarded. It made you feel discarded, like this person who was at one time your soulmate, your wonderful person. You felt very discarded. I do feel like you want to talk to this person. There's still healing that needs to take place. I also feel like it ripped the stability out from under you. Yeah, I feel like that stability was just, there's now no stability here because this person went in another direction, or ended the connection. So let me see why this Eight of Cups is here in reverse for Aries. Yeah, sadness, Five of Cups, Judgment. You want to reconcile with this person. You're looking at the past. You're trying to learn lessons from the past. There's still definitely an emotional attachment here. And I do feel like you're hoping this person comes back in, and you're hoping for a reconciliation. But a lot of you went through a deep period of sadness, possibly even some depression here. Let me see the bottom energy for Aries. Okay, we're going to try that part again. Aries, there it is. Two of Swords, the Tower in reverse, and the Ace of Swords reverse. So you're trying to basically rebuild yourself. This was a Tower moment here, all of this that happened. And I do feel like you're trying to rebuild yourself currently. It's difficult because you're going through so much depression, so much sadness here. You may be trying to decide whether or not you should reach out to this person. A lot of you have this person blocked, and you may be deciding whether or not you are going to unblock them so that there can be communication and an opportunity for a new beginning. So I do feel like you're conflicted internally as well. I feel like there was a big conflict between you and this person because of what they did. And I do feel like, you know, you want the truth, and you feel like this person has not given you total truth and clarity. So I feel like there's a lot of conflict. A part of you wants to reconcile with them, and a part of you is just like, no, I don't, I'm going to keep them blocked. So you're kind of in flux here. It's a lot of emotional ups and downs, and I do feel like you are trying to focus on you. So let me look at this person's energy. I don't see you currently talking to this person right now, but I do see you maybe going back and forth in your mind about whether or not you want to, or even if you want to unblock them. So let's look at this person's energy. Why is the Empress in the reverse? I feel like this person was disrespectful to you, Aries. They treated you with, ooh, and it came out twice. The Empress in reverse. So that's, ooh. I feel like this person was not respectful. King of Wands in the reverse, Empress in reverse. You may have at one point had this person on a pedestal, and now you don't. I do feel like they are keeping silent, but they are thinking about you. And if you have children in particular, they're thinking about the family here. But they're not taking any action towards you. I do feel they were disrespectful here in the past, and I do feel like they stopped nurturing this connection. I also feel like they are in a scarcity mindset currently, and that looks like it might be due to finances. Why is the Six of Cups in reverse for Aries? Yeah, they're kind of vibing low right now, and they're feeling, this person is feeling a bit spiteful, if I'm not mistaken. For somebody. It's not for everybody, I can tell you that. All right, so we have the Six of Wands reversed. We have the Nine of Cups, and we have the Two of Pentacles. All right, so this person actually is trying to figure out what in the world they really want. They've let you go in the past. They released you in the past. They walked away from the connection. And I feel like this person, they may be self-medicating, so be aware of that for somebody. But it doesn't necessarily mean that's for everybody. Like I said, take what resonates for you. Leave the rest for someone else. Ooh, somebody has green eyes. I saw very, very bright green eyes. But this person's trying to figure out what it is they want. What is going to fulfill them? What is going to make them happy? Because they're feeling like they're a failure right now. They're feeling like an absolute failure. They're having to rob Peter to pay Paul, so they are having financial issues. They may have money that they thought was going to come in that hasn't come in. I do feel like this person is just in a real scarcity mindset, and they're trying to figure all of this out. So let me see why this Ten of Pentacles is in reverse. Oh, so they know that they've lost you, the Hangman and the Queen of Pentacles. You could be definitely dealing with an earth sign, but this person is they're working very hard, because I can see that they're juggling their money right now. And I do feel that this person is waiting for some money to come in. But with this Queen of Pentacles here, they're understanding that when they walked away from you, Aries, they lost a lot. Because this is your underlying energy, is this Queen of Cups. But with the Queen of Pentacles, they're focusing on their money, but they're viewing you yet as a queen. I do feel like they're realizing that you were loyal to the connection. You were loving. You were open to this connection. So they're waiting. They're waiting. There's definitely a financial aspect of this, but I think that they're realizing that you were everything. See, the Queen of Pentacles is very stable. They took the stability out of this situation. So the stability is no longer there. They're realizing that the losses that they're having are somehow karmically related. It could have been related to a third party. It didn't have to be. It could have just been because they walked away from this connection and abandoned it. But this person is now literally not only waiting for their financial situation to improve, and they are working hard, but they're also waiting to see what's going to happen with you. They're really defining what it is that they want here in life. Let's look at the energy between you and this person. Show me the energy between Aries and this person. See, in the beginning, I feel like they were blaming all of this on you. I feel like in the beginning, they were like, yeah, you know, Aries isn't all that. Aries isn't loving me like they used to. You know, there was a lot of disrespect, and I do feel like they were kind of putting this at your feet, and now they're beginning to realize, yeah, Aries is where it was at. Aries was stable. Aries was loving. Aries was kind. All right, so we have Temperance in reverse. We have the Six of Swords, and there's the Queen of Cups. Yeah, they're focused on you. They're thinking about you, especially if the two of you do have children together. But I do feel like, you know, they're not actually taking any action towards you or communicating. You may be feeling like it's time for you to move forward. It's time to move on. You feel rejected by this person. Some of you are, I can see where you hope to move the connection forward together to a more peaceful place, but there's no healing. There's a lot that still needs to be healing. This was not an equal give and take. And like I said, I feel like this person towards the end got very disrespectful and they were blaming you. So it's still not balanced out. I can also tell you that this person, they have a lot of feelings and emotions towards you. They actually really do love you. And I feel like they know it, but they're not taking any action on that. They're unhealed. They need to heal. There's also communication from spirit that this person is unable to hear for some reason. It could be because they're self-medicating, but doesn't have to be. I feel like you are just ready to move your life forward. And you'd rather do it with this person, but you're willing to move towards peace on your own if necessary. But I definitely feel like you'd rather move forward with this person. Why is the Five of Coins here? Show me what's affecting this relationship between Aries and this person. Oh, so this could be a twin flame connection for some of you guys. All right, Ten of Coins. There's that Five of Wands again. And there's the Emperor. So this person is struggling to balance out their masculine and feminine energies. I do see that before someone walked away, there was conflict here. And I do feel like you have some internal conflict as well. You're definitely working on your money. And Aries, you appear to be surrounded by either close friends or family that's really supportive. And they're really going to support you regardless of what you decide to do here. Yeah, you may at times feel like you're unloved, like there's no love in sight, but I don't feel like that's from family or friends. I feel like that's romantically. Yeah, and a lot of that is stemming back to this conflict. A lot of it is stemming back to this person's disrespect and their behavior. This person is realizing that the two of you are not on the same page. They're also realizing you're not going to accept poor behavior. So the good news is that this person's heart is beginning to open up. And I do see them, you know, at some point realizing that you are their wish fulfillment and that they need to take charge of the situation. Yeah, they're realizing that they could have everything with you. So I'm seeing some internal conflict. It could be if they move towards someone else, Aries, it's because at some point they were juggling you and this person. But they're realizing that you are where it's at. You are their wish fulfillment. So I do see them taking charge of the situation. And that's positive. But they're conflicted. They're having a hard time. This person's really going through it. They're definitely having financial problems. I will say, I will say that this person is increasing their energy. They're working on their energy in some manner here. And that's what's going to enable them to take charge of the situation. They don't want to feel like they failed here. Let me look at your outcome, because that's positive. Let me see the outcome. You could be dealing with a Aries, another Aries. You could also be dealing with a Sagittarius, Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. Show me the outcome for Aries in this person. They know that this relationship at this point failed because of the conflict. I feel like there was a lot of conflict in this relationship. And I feel like this person is trying to increase their energy. They're trying to address the conflict. They're trying to address the feelings also of abandonment and rejection. Because I get the distinct feeling like if they did go in another direction, that they experienced what they put you through. Yeah, you could be dealing with a business owner or a high-level manager as well. All right, we have the Ten of Cups reversed. We have the Magician. And we have the Death card. All right, so in your outcome, I do see that there is healing coming. There's been a lot of heartbreak here. You're both manifesting healing, and you're both trying to figure this out. It is moving forward, but it's moving very slowly. It's moving very slowly. And why? Well, on your side, it's because you want this new beginning, but if you're not going to get truth and clarity and a stable foundation, then you don't want it. You don't want it. You are requiring basically that this person come correct. Now, here's the thing, and you're unhappy because they're not currently at that stage. And so you're kind of going back and forth. Do I talk to this person? Do I not talk to them? You know, here's the thing, Aries, this person is going through a transformation. And it's moving very slow. See, they don't like what they've done here any more than you do. And that's the truth. This person, I feel like, took a karmic blow because whatever they did to you came right back to them in the form of another person. And it is making them back up and say, what did I do to Aries? And I do feel like there's a transformation that's happening, but it is happening very slowly. I feel like they've received karma, both financially as well as emotionally. And now they had to figure out what it is that they wanted. Then they had to figure out how to take control of that, and then how to actually put in the action. So they're in the process right now of figuring out what they want and taking charge of their life. They're not yet in the action phase. And so I don't really see this person reaching out currently. There's a transformation. Their way of life from the past has to end in order for them to start a new cycle. And they're just not quite there yet. And it's because they're moving very slowly. So there could be divine timing at play here as well. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Wands in the reverse. This is underlying energy. It does indicate that at some point somebody chose to go in another direction. I also feel like your person could suffer from a lack of planning and, you know, implementing within their life, their love life. But I also feel like you felt very rejected by this person, and that energy is still there. So I would really work on myself, work on your feelings, your emotions. Definitely lean into the support that you have. And if you're still wanting to reconcile with this person, you know, give it some time. I don't suggest anybody waits around for anybody. So if you want to go out, go out. But, you know, I do feel like this person is trying to get their act together. All right, I'm going to pull an oracle card and we'll see if there's, I always take the bottom. So All right, so you have imagination. All right. It is number 14, and 14 comes out to 5, indicating you are going through changes as well, and I know this person is. Exploring the wilderness of your own soul through contemplation brings you to the altar of your imagination. To have a circle of imagination in your being, walk with the untamed, wild, instinctual side of your nature, all the time knowing its power. Like a woman aware of her pregnancy as she moves through her round of daily tasks, you need not focus on the unborn life in order for its nature to continue to grow. Always remember that inspiration often comes after reflection, after the seed of creativity is planted. Once you begin your creative work, the energy of the universe comes to you and imagination flows. So just know, Aries, that whatever this situation is, it is evolving. It is transforming. There's a transformation that's taking place here. Move about your life. Don't overly focus on this person or what's going on with them. You know, focus on you, focus on your life, and let this seed that is here, let it continue to develop. Let it continue to grow. All right, I hope that this has been helpful. If you have resonated with this reading, Aries, please hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. And until I see you in your next reading, Aries, namaste.